see if this makes any kind of difference. Then you ready?
Yeah.
Rolling start here.
Hold on, Oh, no! Bro! I'm continuing the teardown of this thing and kind of doing the finalizing touches. Now, it is somewhat embarrassing how many people I've almost hit when reversing in this Z because it makes no noises when it's backing up, unless the coolant fans are on, but that's pretty rare. So, Mickey and I shopped around, we found ourselves a backup alarm, or backup sounder if you want to call it, and I'm pretty excited about it. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and mount this on the bumper back here, and then wire it into our reverse light, which is right here.
Hey Quinn, what do you think about the new backup indicator sound?
I think it's awesome. I love it. He can't sneak up on you anymore. That was like his signature dish. His other signature dish would be going for digs, and he's got the thing in reverse, and he blows the tires off going backwards, and we almost hit the end of the cul-de-sac like twice. You almost hit Ricky.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, hey!
All of it.
So now we know when we're in reverse.
Well, more importantly, obviously now I know when I'm in reverse so that I don't hit stuff behind me. Quinn is safe, Ricky is safe. Mickey's never been in danger, but he was next.
Do you know what she's saying?
I believe she's saying, please be cautious, the car is reversing, or the car is in reverse, or something like that. So when this internal combustion engine came out, there was a lot of things removed. Hoses, wires, coolant tubes, all kinds of stuff. So there's quite a bit of exposed metal, even metal that had to be reshaped in order for this new Liberty Walk hood to fit on here. A lot of open space that I just need to create some well-shaped panels to kind of close all of this off. That way when you open this up, it's not just like, hey, there's a battery box with a bright red lid. We got the general idea of the covering that we're gonna have here. So this is the area that actually had to be pushed down quite a bit for the fiberglass structure of this to be able to actually sit down and allow this hood to close completely. So we can't really cover that. I have a sheet of aluminum over there, cut that, and then we'll start bending and get an actual piece of metal in here. Cool. Couple hours later, we've got this thing all chopped and bent. We have our holes for mounting and then also for our strut tower. This is for our strut tower adjustment. This is for our Mishimoto fill cap. And we got our notch out for the battery. So let's go see how this thing fits. So I'll probably have some brackets to fabricate in order to kind of hold this. It looks like it's kicking up a little bit. I want to pull this down, maybe so that this sits level right here. And I think it'll sit like that. It'll look pretty cool. Well, having the first side done and being able to trace the outline of that and then kind of customize it for the brake booster really worked out. We've got both sides in now, and I think we're going to be okay with this. There's a couple of brackets that I need to make in order to hold these panels kind of square where I want them to be. But other than that, they're covering a lot of that emptiness that is now there with no airbox, no wires, no VQ inside of here. So Now this is not an engine bay, this is a battery bay. It's got one type of battery and then you got 12 other types of batteries. And of course our brake booster. Everything is electric in here, everything is cooled and electricity, that's all it is. So. Hey guys, just want to take a quick second from this video to talk to you guys about Upstart. Now, like most of us, you may have come to a point in your life where you needed to open up a credit card in order to pay something off and you've incurred debt, or maybe you've had to do that several times. And those multiple credit cards and the debt that are incurred on those can add up, and it can be a bit daunting to pay all that off. So our friends at Upstart would like to take multiple credit cards that you may have, consolidate them to one single bill, and make sure that they're getting paid off in a timely manner. So if you're anything like me and maybe you have 1 or 2 car bills that you're saving up for, but you'd feel better about it if you were able to pay off that existing debt you may have, now is the time to reach out to our friends over at Upstart. So don't wait. Check your rate today at upstart.com/throtl. That's upstart.com/throtl. Don't forget to use our URL so that they know we sent you. Now your rates will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. So go to upstart.com/throtl. Now, let's get back out there in the shop. These guys are far too OE looking. We're gonna go ahead and change those out for some fun new mirrors. Before this thing goes off to paint so they can get painted either black or body color, one of the two. Let's go ahead and remove these mirrors and get the new ones put on while Ricky welds in the background. So yes, we have some new side mirrors to mount on this Z, and these are them. That Mickey ordered a while ago. I've just been putting it off because I kind of like the stock mirrors, but these things are pretty sick, even though they're unpainted. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get these things painted. Right now, they're just kind of like a semi-glossy patina white. Let's get these things trimmed black just to see what they'll look like. And that way we'll know whether we want to go body color or if we want to keep them a flat or a gloss black on the car. Let's get to painting. So one thing we noticed when we were driving this thing, the turn indicators on the rear side are just a little bit hard to see. There's a small slit on the back of the rear bumper that has a few LEDs that blink, but just given the dark paint, or sorry, the dark color of this wrap, and the fact that they are kind of tucked back there a little bit, it is pretty hard to see if somebody is in the flank like this. There's not really that much reflective surface, and most people are going to be facing this way anyway. So what we wanted to do is provide just a little bit more turn indication or lane change indication. And what we're going to do is, since this already has a little bit of the characteristics of a 370Z, we're going to go ahead and take the side markers, these amber side markers that are on 370Zs, and about this location, and we're going to go ahead and install that on our Liberty Walk fiberglass fender. And it's clocked in there. It looks awesome. So just got to duplicate that on the other side, and I have to take this out and actually plug in the wires before I go pushing it in like that again. But that's it. That looks awesome. It's great on the profile. Cool. All right. As you can see, obviously they're hyper flashing, which means I need to install a resistor. Other than that, they're bright. I feel better about driving on the freeway with that side marker there. Anybody who's in my flank can see that side marker if I want to change lanes, and they can either slow down or honk at me so I don't go into their lane.
All right, so I'm gonna be jumping in on the 350Z with Will. One problem we've had with this car is you cannot do a standing burnout. You can do rolling burnouts, you can do donuts. Will's been swinging it like crazy. We've been all having a good time, but you cannot do a standing burnout on this car. The reason is because the EV controller, if it sees any input on the brake pedal, it pretty much cuts all throttle. So you cannot be on the brake and on the gas on the same time. The EV controller won't let that happen. So what we have to do is we have to be able to lock the car in place with the brake pedal off. So we have a line lock head we're gonna be installing. This is a Hurst line lock control solenoid. So all this does is when the solenoid gets activated, it closes off the line. So pretty much if you press on the brake pedal, hit this button, it's gonna lock the pressure inside of the brake line. And we're gonna tie this into our front brakes so we can do mad standing burnouts on the 350. Will is currently working on the electrical side of it, getting it wired up to a button. I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking out the mechanical side, which is gonna be jumping this into our brake line kits. And very soon we'll have a line lock on this thing. Isn't that right, Will?
What'd you say? Yes, that is correct.
So pretty much the game plan is to put this guy in line. So this is our brake booster cylinder, master cylinder down there. We have a line for the front brakes coming out into our adjustable proportioning valve that takes it from the 2 lines into 3 lines, 1 for each front and then 1 for the rear. We're actually gonna jump this, so it's gonna go out of the master into the line lock control solenoid and then into the distribution block there. So.
Cool, so Quinn's already done drilling and rib nutting for this solenoid, this line lock solenoid to be mounted. He's already wrenching down on some stuff. Hey, you wanna throw some rags in there before you go loosening it?
What do you think that is, Will?
Oh, all right, well, he's already on it.
Monkey knuckles.
He is loosening up the part of the prop valve that is putting the brake fluid to the front calipers.
So this line is actually gonna get moved to here.
Yep.
And then we got a little intermediate line. This little mama boy gonna go right there, and that's gonna be it.
What do you call it, light? Uh-oh. Hurry up, hurry up.
As long as you keep the line higher than the
Just a
rest.
little redirect.
1 or 2 little twisty boys on here.
Now you saw that.
Line lock is installed, and mechanically we're set up. Are you electrically set up there, Brother Will?
No.
Regardless, we're gonna blow the front wheels off and get this thing bled. Make sure the front brakes are working correctly. Make sure we got fluid going through everything, and then it's just a matter of finishing the wiring, and then we have line lock.
I went ahead and wired up the solenoid itself, so once we plug all this in, bleed the brakes, we're gonna be ready to test it out. Because the button in there, the burnout button, is already working.
We're all plugged in, set up. We just need to bleed it. So the line lock is on.
Fun bags. Oh my gosh.
And Will is not pressing on the brake pedal.
That thing ain't good. Get a brake bar out.
So now, oh no. So if I press the solenoid now, it should unclick, right?
Sick.
So the thing is it's just a solenoid. It's not an actual like brake pressure generator thing. It's just a solenoid. So
Yep. All it does is lock the pressure that you build up with the brake booster.
Yep. So if you press it without pressing the brake pedal, it does nothing.
Yeah, it's still spinning.
Still spinning, but it just locks the pressure. So to get it to work, you have to press on the brake pedal and then press the burnout button. Then I let off of the brake pedal.
Yeah, it's still locked.
And now it's locked. Sick. Wanna go test it out?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Sunglasses, huh?
Them's shades.
So before that was the power button because
Sure
this
will.
hasn't been wired yet. But now this is the power button.
What?
I was saying that this used to be the power on button because the GTR button hasn't been wired yet. But now you got it over here.
Correcto.
So now the burnout button. This is the burnout button, folks?
Yeah, the burnout button is now actually a burnout button. It's no longer a figurative burnout button, meaning anytime you turn this thing on, it's gonna be a burnout.
Ooh. You need to press on the brake pedal harder. The fronts were still slowly spinning. We can, yeah.
if you want.
Press on the brake pedal harder, yes.
Yeah, because the line lock only holds as much pressure as you will push on the pedal. That makes sense.
I mean, I was almost to the floor. I'll do it again.
I just do it as freaking hard as you can. That was insane though, but this time just really give the pedal.
Really? Okay.
Well,
just
the brake
immediately?
pedal, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then just like try and snap the rear tires loose.
Okay.
But they were rolling. It was definitely working, but.
Well, I'd say that worked.
Dude, that was ripe. Holy crap. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Well, that felt good.
Well, the line lock freaking works.
Yeah, it does.
Holy hell.
I gotta remember not to breathe so much when I'm doing that. Dude, that stuff stings. That's all we have for you guys this week. We had a blast changing out the inverter of this drive unit and really getting a lot more power out of this. It is ready to hand it to you whenever you want it. We took this thing to Verona and we had a few bugs to work out. We came back and kind of changed the wiring and changed the programming just a little bit to get this thing to really handle the power all the way up to the top end. But thank you guys for watching. Now we need to get this thing ready for paint. So next week we're gonna go ahead and do a tear down of this. We gotta take the battery boxes out. We gotta get a lot of the surfaces prepped, and then we're gonna hand this over to SOS Customs. We trust them with this car. We know that it's gonna come back looking the way that it should, so that we can get this thing finished up. So I kind of want to know what color you guys want this thing to be. I have an idea from what I want to see, and I know the accent color that I want. You know, we're not going to just do single color with flat black or gloss black and call it that. We're going to have an accent color. So put it down in the comments what you guys want to see this kind of base color and what the accent color should be, and we'll read it. You know, and never know, maybe somebody have an idea that we haven't already had. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, tell people about this Tesla Z, because it's been a blast and it's still going to be a blast in the future. We'll see you guys next time.